What are we going to talk about on this cold January morning here in San Diego? We're talking about the Hogue Ritter RSK Mark I G2 that was an exclusive for knifeworks.com. So you saw it on the table. It's a great knife. We're going to talk about it. This one is not 100% standard. So let's take a look at it from above. All right, guys, we are getting back around to this Hogue Ritter RSK Mark I G2. Now, this was an exclusive through, hang on just a second. Sorry about that, knifeworks.com. So knifeworks.com, this was an exclusive. This is done in MagnaCut, CPM MagnaCut, and carbon fiber. These were priced at $209 on their website. This is a great, great knife. And like I said in the title and description, this is move over Griptilian. This definitely is a better knife in my opinion. So we're going to take a quick look at this. I've been carrying this on and off for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I believe. So first things first, we'll get some specs right here and we'll do some size comparison. So your first knife is going to be the Artisan Mastiff, which is a big knife. This is not a small knife. I was surprised at how large it is. So there's your first knife. Your next knife is going to be the Benchmade 940, which is not a small knife. It's just an average size EDC. So you can see this is a little bit bigger. And then as always, your final knife for comparison is going to be the Chris Reeve knife Sebenza Large 21, a really good size comparison. This dimensionally is way bigger. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. And I'm going to have to tell you a couple things cursory real quick about this knife so that you're not kind of confused if you haven't seen the first Dan pockets on this. So let's get this out of the way. So like I said, this is the Hogue RSK Mark I G2 done in MagnaCut. Now you're going to see some hiccups on this blade. This is not from the factory. I don't want you to think this is how Hogue sent this out. Daniel, the owner of this knife, actually did a hollow grind on this. He did a really good job, but he said specifically he did it rushed, and it does not represent the service he offers doing regrinds. But with that being aside, this thing is great. The weight on this being carbon fiber in the tail and then a good size blade gives it really good weight. You're looking at a CPM MagnaCut blade that is ground really well because it's been reground. But I've seen these, they are not that much different than this. This just has been thinned out a little bit. Grips on this are amazing. Now, I was initially, I was not a big believer in the MagnaCut because, not that I don't believe the things that Laren has said. He's a brilliant scientist. He's a genius. And everything that I heard about the steel was incredible. But when I got a couple knives in MagnaCut, they had not been run at the proper heat treat and they just were not good in my opinion. Pretty sure that they've got it figured out now. This thing cut really well. The edge has held up really well. I am a fan of the MagnaCut. I like the fact that we've got some new steels out there that are doing really good things. So that's what we're going to touch about. The blade shape on this is great. It's not such an upswept belly that I'm put off by it. I like a knife to be a little straighter with just a slight belly because most of the work I'm doing is in this area here. That's why I'm such a big fan of Wharncliffe's. But this one has got a really good feel in hand. You can get in there, power through cuts with that straight. And then if you need to do some cutting around stuff, you've got that belly that you can do it with. Nice drop point blade with decent jimping. I'm not going to say it's great. Well, we'll go ahead. We'll save that for later. The jimping here is really good. That is some perfect jimping right there. You're not going anywhere. Axis lock on this, or sliding bar lock, if you will. Sliding bar lock on it is really good. It does not have any of the slop and stuff. Oh, sorry. It doesn't have any of the slop in it that I feel in a lot of other knives, and opposed to a lot of the Benchmades that use their actual proprietary axis lock, there is no play in that. One of the things that I don't like about the axis lock is a lot of times there's a lot of play in this. There is a lot of play in this, and if I tighten this up anymore, I don't have a good free action. This is fairly free, as you can see. It's really good, and I'm not seeing a big issue with that. I'm sorry, it's the angle I'm at that I can't do that. It's a larger knife. You can flip it out. So the the access bar lock on this, the sliding bar lock, I mean, is really good. Handles in hand are amazingly comfortable. They have done this patterning on this carbon fiber in a way that it's a lot like Spyderco's bidirectional patterning that they've done on their on a lot of their knives, where you've got really good grip, but it's not unattractive. So in a carbon fiber handle, especially, you have this rainbow starburst pattern here, and then some lines cut in, some checkering here, and then the starburst continues out through. And it just is about perfect for grip. It gives you a really good grip without being overly aggressive. And then, like I said, carbon fiber, super, super light. Reversible pocket clips with a nice flat for it, 3 screws as opposed to 2. So it's not going to play. The only play you're getting in that is that pocket clip bends a little bit. I am a big fan of a 3 screw configuration going this way as opposed to 2 screws going this way. Much harder to get any play in that. So comfort in hand, excellent, excellent, excellent knife. I would expect nothing less for Doug Ritter to have put his name on. So there are a couple small things about this knife that I don't like, and we'll get into that on the flip side of this. Keep in mind, it's not much, and it's just my opinions. Now, the things that I have to say about this are just some very minor things. One of them being the fact that one of the things I love about this knife so much since it's here is how well it cuts. And unfortunately, a lot of that has to do with the fact it's been hollow ground. I've seen that the other ones cut really well. They're not ground super thick, but I wish that this was the grind that it came with on its own. Next thing, this jimping here. I was talking about jimping. This jimping was the jimping I had in my head, and as I was talking about it, I was like, you know what? I have spoke too soon. That jimping is pretty soft, and this jimping is great. So you have basically 2 sets of jimping. This is the jimping I like. That jimping is pretty soft. Next thing, I'm not a big fan of the thumb studs. They just kind of feel like they're out of position for where they're at. They feel too close to this. I would like the thumb studs to be a little further out and down, because when I'm rolling it out, I'm hitting that. So not a big deal. Maybe if they were a little taller, or if they just were positioned a little further that direction. And then the final thing, of course, you're going to hear me talk about, it's got a lanyard hole that this could have been so much more attractive. There was just a post there for you to wrap a lanyard around. The pocket clip, surprisingly, the pocket clip does not bother me at all. And it's nice that it is fairly deep carry, because you can carry this forward. It is nice and light. Waistband carry, if you're wearing track pants or something, is great on this. So that's about all I have on the negative sides. There's nothing really else except I wish that this was a factory grind. I wish that the owner had not needed to thin that out. I think that would have made this knife even more good than it is. But in my opinion, this is a much, much better choice than the Griptilian. I like the Griptilian. It's a knife I always wanted, but even though this is at $200, $209 for this being the exclusive, the other models are not that much. I'll put some affiliate links to them up below, but they're not that expensive when you look at the prices that Benchmade has been charging for their knives lately. And I just think that this is a better knife, and it goes directly to support a guy that has done a lot for us in the knife community. As I like to say, if you're not a member of Knife Rights, you are definitely not doing the knife community a favor, because Doug does more for your right to be able to carry knives than anyone else on the planet. So with that being said, not a lot of negative on this knife. I really do like this a lot. So let's turn this around. We'll do some final thoughts and send you out about your day. Like I said, guys, there is very little bad to say about this knife. This thing is really, really good. I like it so much. I really do have to say, though, I wish that this was the factory gun. I've looked at them before. I've seen them. I've never gotten to hold one long enough to do a lot of cutting, but I will say significantly thinner on this one behind the edge. So still a great, great knife either way. I'm just saying maybe we could reach out to Hogue and say, hey, could we get this specific blade profile done? So other than that, guys, great, great knife. Definitely what I would take over a Benchmade Griptilian now that I've seen one. So That's it on this one, guys. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. I can't change content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got notifications set to all or you will not get notified of everything I put up, and make sure you've got notifications turned on your device. And once again, likes are the best thing you can do for any channel. It helps push us up the algorithm. It shows YouTube that you find value in these videos and that you enjoyed them, and they'll show them to more people, more better, more money, more stuff I can do for the channel. So if you want to support the channel financially, however, there's a handful of ways. I have got a ton of affiliate links down below. That's the handful of ways. So there's a bunch of stuff down there. If you use the Amazon links, it does not have to be the item you clicked on to purchase. It's basically an entry into my affiliate store. So anything you purchase after you click on those links, I get credit for it, even if it's not the item that I had set out for you. Other way you can do it is I have a membership down below. It's tier-based. All 3 tiers have access to the Gilded server where we hang out and chat. It's just like Discord. Baseline and premium members are automatically entered into giveaways that I do on the Gilded server. And the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series that's here on YouTube behind a paywall. I do have an a merchandise store down below. You can find that. It's on Ember shirt code. Use the coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S. CrazySharp saves you 10% at checkout. And if you go to Coffee Brand Coffee, you can use my coupon code to save 5%. Please go help out Jeremy over at The Quartering. He owns that company, and he has been banned on Twitter, so he's unable to publicize a lot of his content. He's losing out on money because of it. So just if you want to get some good coffee, go to Coffee Brand Coffee and help out someone that has helped support the channel. So guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.